Bone broth has become incredibly popular, often promoted as a miracle food for strength, healing, and overall vitality. But when it comes to actually building muscle or protecting yourself from sarcopenia, it simply doesn't deliver what your body physiologically needs. The reason is surprisingly straightforward. Muscle tissue relies on a very specific set of amino acids to grow and repair. Then collagen, the primary protein in bone broth, is extremely low in those essential amino acids. Muscle growth depends heavily on amino acids like leucine, isoleucine, and valine, collectively known as the branched chain amino acids, with leucine playing the central role in triggering muscle protein synthesis. This process is like flipping a biochemical switch inside your muscle fibers, signaling them to rebuild stronger after stress, exercise, or daily wear and tear. Bone broth contains virtually none of the leucine required to activate this switch. So even if you drink several cups a day, your muscles aren't receiving the message to grow, repair, or become more resilient. Another misunderstanding is that because bone broth contains protein, it must be helpful for strength. But protein quality matters just as much as protein quantity. Proteins are made of amino acids, and each protein source has a different amino acid profile. Muscle tissue requires all 9 essential amino acids in balanced amounts, and collagen is incomplete. It's missing the very building blocks your body must have to reconstruct muscle fibers. Collagen-rich foods are great for skin elasticity, connective tissue integrity, and sometimes digestive comfort, but they don't supply the materials your muscles require to replenish themselves. This means someone could think they're doing something powerful for their strength by consuming bone broth regularly, while unknowingly depriving their muscles of what they actually need. Bone broth also gives a false sense of nutritional security. It's warm, soothing, nostalgic, and marketed as deeply nourishing, so people often assume it's delivering broad-spectrum health benefits. But when you look at the actual nutritional breakdown, it's low in total protein, low in essential amino acids, and low in the micronutrients associated with muscle health, such as magnesium, potassium, and certain B vitamins your body uses during muscle contraction and recovery. What you're mostly drinking is water, electrolytes, and gelatin. While there's nothing wrong with that, it doesn't address the biological mechanisms behind muscle maintenance. Many people struggling with early muscle loss, low energy, or age-related weakness rely on bone broth, believing it will support strength or physical performance. But without complete proteins, their muscles are not receiving the stimulus required to maintain mass. This is especially important for older adults whose bodies become less efficient at activating muscle growth. They need higher quality protein, not lower, and collagen-based foods fall short of meeting those needs. Relying on bone broth can even displace more effective foods from the diet. Someone might reach for a cup of broth instead of a meal containing eggs, fish, or legumes, unintentionally reducing the total intake of muscle, supporting amino acids for the day. Over time, that pattern contributes to gradual muscle decline, slower metabolism, reduced mobility, and a higher risk of injury, all while the person believes they're supporting their health with a nourishing, beneficial routine. High quality, leucine-rich complete proteins are the true foundation of muscle growth because they supply the exact amino acids your body requires to build, repair, and preserve lean mass. Unlike incomplete proteins or collagen-dominant options, complete proteins contain all 9 essential amino acids in the right proportions, making them highly effective at triggering muscle protein synthesis. When you eat foods like eggs, whey protein, Greek yogurt, fish, chicken, tofu, or a well-balanced combination of plant proteins, such as legumes with whole grains, you're giving your muscles the full toolkit they need. The body cannot manufacture essential amino acids on its own, so relying on foods that provide them is the only way to maintain muscle mass, especially during aging, stress, or recovery from physical activity. What makes these proteins especially powerful is their leucine content. because leucine serves as the biochemical on switch for muscle building pathways. Without enough leucine in a meal, even if the overall protein amount is high, the muscle building signal remains weak, meaning your muscles don't fully engage in the repair and rebuilding cycle. Foods like eggs and whey protein stand out because they have some of the highest leucine densities of any dietary protein source. Just a couple of eggs or a scoop of whey can quickly reach the leucine threshold needed to activate muscle protein synthesis and support recovery. Fish, poultry, and lean meats also deliver excellent leucine levels along with other nutrients like iron, B vitamins, and omega-3s that support muscle function, energy metabolism, and inflammation control during training or daily activity. For people following plant-based diets, pairing the right foods becomes essential to create complete protein profiles. Tofu, tempeh, quinoa, lentils, and chickpeas can all serve as strong contributors when combined thoughtfully, delivering both quantity and quality of protein along with fiber and micronutrients that support digestion and overall health. These foods help ensure that your muscles receive balanced amino acids and enough leucine to trigger growth, which is critical for anyone trying to prevent muscle loss or increase strength. Another key advantage of complete proteins is their high bioavailability, meaning the body can easily digest, absorb, and utilize the amino acids they provide. This efficiency allows your muscles to repair quickly after workouts, adapt to strength training, and maintain functional capacity during day-to-day activities. As you age, this becomes even more important because the body's sensitivity to protein declines, making high-quality protein essential for preserving independence, mobility, and metabolic health. Relying on complete proteins at each meal ensures that you're continually supplying your muscles with the resources they need to stay strong. Many people underestimate how much protein their body actually requires, especially during periods of increased physical activity, stress, or aging. By intentionally including complete, leucine-rich sources throughout the day, you create multiple opportunities for your muscles to engage in growth and repair, supporting better posture, better balance, better metabolic function, and overall physical resilience without relying on trendy foods that don't offer the same physiological benefits. Leucine plays an incredibly important role in muscle health because it acts as the primary trigger for muscle protein synthesis, the process your body uses to repair and build muscle tissue. Think of leucine as the spark that lights the engine. You can have plenty of fuel in the tank, meaning plenty of protein overall, but without enough leucine, the engine doesn't start. This is why eating high-quality protein sources that naturally contain leucine is essential for maintaining muscle mass, especially as you age. Younger adults have a more responsive muscle building system and can activate muscle growth with lower amounts of leucine, but as the years go by, the body becomes less sensitive to the signals that normally stimulate muscle repair. This phenomenon is called anabolic resistance, and it means older adults need more leucine in each meal to reach the threshold required to turn on muscle. Building pathways. Leucine doesn't just contribute to muscle structure, it actually communicates with the body on a cellular level. When you eat foods rich in leucine, the amino acid binds to receptors that activate a key pathway responsible for initiating muscle protein synthesis. If you hit that leucine threshold, your body immediately shifts into repair mode, patching tiny tears in muscle fibers, strengthening them, and increasing overall muscle function. Without reaching this threshold, the body stays in a more neutral or breakdown, focused state, especially during times of stress, inactivity, or calorie deficit. This is why simply eating protein isn't always enough. You need the right type and the right amount to trigger the response your muscles are waiting for. And because leucine plays such a strong signaling role, it becomes even more valuable as you get older, when your muscles require a louder, stronger signal to respond effectively. Foods like eggs, dairy, lean meats, fish whey protein, and certain combinations of plant, Based foods naturally supply enough leucine to activate muscle growth. In contrast, foods low in leucine, even if technically high in protein, don't produce the same effect. This is one of the reasons people may feel like they're getting weaker with age, even if their diet includes protein. If the leucine content in their meals is too low, their muscles aren't receiving a strong enough message to rebuild. Over time, that lack of stimulation contributes to gradual muscle decline. But increasing leucine intake helps counteract that decline by boosting the body's ability to preserve and grow lean mass. This is particularly important for preventing sarcopenia, a condition defined by age-related muscle loss that affects strength, stability, posture, and overall quality of life. Reaching optimal leucine levels at each meal doesn't require extreme dieting or complicated nutrition plans. It simply requires being intentional about including foods with strong amino acid profiles. Even small adjustments make a big difference. Adding an extra egg at breakfast, swapping a low-protein snack for Greek yogurt, mixing lentils with whole grains to form a complete protein, or using whey protein after resistance training can all help you ensure you're hitting the leucine threshold consistently. When you support your body with the right signals, you promote muscle retention, better mobility, improved balance, and overall vitality, allowing you to stay stronger for longer without relying on trends or incomplete protein sources. Building muscle and preventing muscle loss is a two-part partnership between proper nutrition and consistent resistance training, and one cannot replace the other. Many people assume that eating plenty of protein alone will automatically lead to stronger muscles, but the body doesn't work that way. Protein provides the raw materials your muscles need to grow, but without the physical stimulus that tells your body, we need these muscles to be stronger, nothing truly changes. Resistance training is that signal. When you challenge your muscles, whether through lifting weights, using resistance bands, doing bodyweight exercises, or performing any form of strength-based movement, you create tiny microtears in the muscle fibers. These microtears are not harmful. They are the reason your body begins the repair process. And that repair process is what builds stronger, thicker, more resilient muscle over time. But that repair process can only happen if the body has the right nutrients available without enough high-quality protein. The muscle fibers don't receive the amino acids necessary to patch themselves up. Instead of growing stronger, the muscles remain in a state of breakdown, especially in people who are older or more sedentary. This often shows up as weakness, slower recovery, and a gradual loss of stamina. When resistance training and proper protein intake are combined, however, the results are dramatically different. The exercise activates the demand for muscle repair, and the protein supplies the building blocks needed for that repair. It's a coordinated system that works best when both parts are present and balanced. This synergy becomes even more important with age. As the body gets older, it becomes less responsive to both exercise and dietary protein. That means you need a stronger stimulus from strength training and higher quality protein sources to get the same muscle building response that comes easily when you're younger. Without resistance training, even the best protein-rich diet won't prevent sarcopenia because the muscle fibers aren't being challenged enough to maintain their size. And without protein, even the most disciplined workout routine won't result in meaningful gains because your body doesn't have the tools to repair what exercise breaks down. This is why older adults who do both strength training and eat adequate protein often maintain mobility, balance, and vitality far better than those who rely on only one or the other. Resistance training doesn't have to be extreme to be effective. Simple movements, squats, push-ups, seated stands, resistance band rows, or even carrying groceries with intention sends strong signals to the body. The key is challenging the muscles regularly so the body recognizes that muscle tissue is essential and must be preserved. Pairing this with complete proteins that contain leucine ensures that your muscles can actually respond to the challenge. When the body gets that combination, it activates the repair process, increases muscle protein synthesis, and builds stronger tissue. This leads to better posture, improved balance, greater independence, and a faster metabolism, because muscle mass plays a major role in how efficiently the body burns energy. People often look for shortcuts, supplements, or trends promising muscle growth, but none of them replace the fundamental partnership of strength training and proper protein intake. When you consistently engage your muscles and feed them what they need afterward, your body adapts in powerful ways. You become stronger, more capable, and better equipped to handle the physical demands of life, no matter your age. Consistent protein intake throughout the day is one of the most overlooked factors in building and maintaining muscle, because your body can only use a certain amount of amino acids at one time to trigger muscle protein synthesis. After that process is activated, it gradually tapers off, and your muscles become less responsive until the next meal containing enough high-quality protein. This means that spreading your protein out evenly through breakfast, lunch, dinner, and even strategically placed snacks creates multiple opportunities for your muscles to enter a rebuilding phase. When you only consume one large, protein-heavy meal, you limit your ability to take advantage of these repeated windows of muscle growth. The body doesn't store excess amino acids for later use in the same way it stores fat or carbohydrates, so if you eat too much protein at once, a large portion simply can't be used effectively for muscle repair. This is why timing matters. Each time you consume a protein-rich meal that contains enough leucine to reach the muscle building threshold, the repair and rebuilding process gets activated again. If you hit that threshold 3 times a day instead of once, your muscles receive 3 times the stimulus to grow and maintain strength. This becomes especially important for people trying to prevent muscle loss as they age, because the body becomes less sensitive to protein and needs more consistent signals to continue building tissue. Eating all your protein in the evening, skipping breakfast, or relying on low protein snacks throughout the day means you miss out on valuable opportunities to support your muscles. Spreading protein throughout the day doesn't mean eating huge meals, it simply means being intentional. Breakfast might include eggs yogurt or tofu scramble rather than toast alone. Lunch could incorporate chicken, fish, lentils, or a protein-rich salad. Dinner can focus on another complete protein source, and snacks can include options like cottage cheese, nuts paired with whole grains, or a small whey protein shake if needed. By doing this, you keep your body in a more balanced and responsive state, allowing it to repair muscle fibers more frequently and efficiently. This consistency supports improved strength, better recovery after exercise, and more stable energy levels, because protein helps regulate blood sugar and appetite throughout the day. Consistent protein intake also supports metabolic health. Muscle tissue is metabolically active, meaning it burns calories even at rest. When you stimulate muscle protein synthesis multiple times a day, you encourage the body to preserve and build more lean mass, which naturally increases your metabolic rate. This can lead to easier weight management, better hormonal balance, and improved physical performance. Whether you're exercising or simply going through daily routines, it also contributes to injury prevention and mobility, because strong muscles stabilize the joints and support proper movement patterns. For older adults, this approach is even more crucial. The body's ability to use protein efficiently declines with age, so large gaps between meals leave the muscles in a prolonged state of breakdown. When protein is spaced out, the muscles receive more consistent repair signals, countering age-related decline. Even individuals who don't engage in intense exercise benefit from steady protein intake, because daily movements like walking, climbing stairs, and lifting objects still create minor muscle stress that requires repair. Over time, these repeated signals lead to noticeable improvements in strength, balance, posture, and resilience. By focusing on consistent protein intake instead of relying on a single large meal or trendy foods that lack complete amino acid profiles, you give your body what it actually needs to maintain muscle health. This simple shift supports better recovery, more efficient muscle building, and overall vitality, helping you stay strong and capable at any age.